I'll go from there. Okay, so this is our free informational webinar hosted by myself, Joe Farley, the Principal Life Coach here at Friends and Fathers. We're going to do a brief slide presentation, and I want to focus on those areas of back child support, father's rights, and modify, which is reduced into to men's term is like, I want a reduction. I want a
Okay.
reduction. So, but the court prefer to use the right terminology, which is you want to modify your child support. So I want you guys to kind of understand that that's what's happening. You want to modify your child support. You don't want to go in there and say, "Oh, my child support reduced." Well, it's based off of some information, and we provide that information so you can be more astute, okay,
Okay.
about
Okay.
it, and you don't sound typical like most fathers saying, "Hey, man, this child support is too high." Well, they're not listening to that. You have to
Right.
give them some reasons, okay? So we're going to
Okay.
be talking about a couple of those things as well. So, how old is your child or children, Terrence?
I got a 16-year-old,
Hmm.
11-year-old,
Hmm.
and a 9-year-old.
Okay. Now, is this all the same mom or different cases?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Same mom.
Okay. Now, are you and the mother residing together or you're separated?
Separated.
And do you have a relationship together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have that. And how much is your child support?
That I don't know. I don't know right offhand because I ain't seen me no letters in the mail lately.
Okay. Are you currently working where they take money out of your check?
Yes.
Okay. How much they're taking?
At least I think it was like the last time I checked, it was like 300
Okay. And you get paid every week or every 2 weeks?
every week.
Oh, so four times three is what? 1,200?
Yep.
So that's about the amount of money. So are they taking half of your paycheck?
Uh, yeah. Basically, depending on what I make.
Okay, yeah, and I'm glad you said it that way, guys. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. A lot of the things that I'm saying are key components in reference to how the friend of the court works. He says, "Well, yeah, just depends on what I make." Well, it's not supposed to go up and down. It's not. If it does, that means that they're charging you on child support and arrears, and there's a motion that needs to be set up where it can be modified so it can be the same amount.
Okay.
Same amount. And base it off of your 40 hours. Now, if you guys are working, I want everybody to kind of hear me because I'm talking general. If you're employed and you're making overtime, okay, they can consider that overtime part of how to make a decision on what your case amount for child support should be, but not just on your amount. It's also based off of the mother's income. Did you guys know that?
Yeah,
Nope.
see, yeah, I wasn't sure about that. And yeah, it's I had questions regarding, I don't know, just that and the
Yeah.
fact that my son's mom is she's married and
Hmm.
they have another child and both of them work. So, I have all these questions running around in my head about
Okay.
I'm barely making it by, I'm scraping by and
Hmm.
it just I don't know. I don't know if it makes any difference that she's, remarried and that they have two incomes and half of mine, and I have no idea how it all works.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that. Just like the other gentleman here as well, we have some parents that uh, that are married. So what that means is that if she was single, the house note of 1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it is, she's not paying it alone, especially if she was single and living on her own when you guys got a separation or the child support case started. So that means she has more money available, just like you. Okay. So all of those components are going to help you, help the court determine what your child support amount is. That's most important. And we basically, um, over the 18 years of being here, to be 18 years in July, that our company's been around. So there's methods that they use that we educate our fathers on, and that's what this is all about. So let me do this. I'm gonna be so kind and just kind of go through my presentation quickly, so therefore you guys can know what is going on and how can friends of fathers help you. Would you guys like that?
Yes.
Okay,
Be
good,
great. Thank you.
good, good. And that's what we're gonna start on right now. So let's see if you guys can see my presentation, and I'll push the share button so you can see it. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
That's the orange and black.
I can't see it.
looks great.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah,
Okay.
sweet.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So that's one of our flyers that we use for this particular event. So therefore, you guys can
I
be familiar
screenshotted it.
with it. And we're going to be recording this, like I said. So it's going to help you where you can go back and review it. Okay. So our Friends of Fathers company is a men's life coaching company. We basically have a webinar on the first and third Mondays at 6 p.m. Okay. Sometimes we start about 6:15. We give guys at most an opportunity to join. Okay. I really would like for you guys to do this. Please write down or text Friends of Fathers. Okay. Friends of Fathers. And go to your social media page and make sure that you join our Facebook and also to subscribe to our YouTube. And I want to make sure that I am recording. And yes, I'm looking at it because I'm sounding good. We're sounding good, guys. We're sounding good. So everything is being recorded. Uh, so now, and if you have right now a partner or mate that's with you tonight, they can join the call too because they may have some questions that can help you. Now, with this colors that we have here, it's orange and black. And we have, if you look at this orange, the color reminds you of construction. Okay. We basically use that because when we, as a man's life coach company, we're coaching and educating you through the process. Okay. I'm a father, been a father like yourselves, I've been through this child support system. Now, with what I'm saying is this: you are under construction if you decide that you want to move forward with Friends of Fathers. As a man, you are under construction. So therefore, you can actually be able to um, know and understand how things really works with this court process. Okay, so I really try to make sure that you guys understand that, so you can actually be able to, follow the process that I follow to address these issues. So we're gonna, stick with that and make sure that you guys do some of the successful things that I've done in the past as well. So let me just try to get this little picture thing. There we go. There we go, Joe. There we go. All right. So with that, our company, Friends of Fathers, our motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers. We say strengthening men because there are no weak men, especially if they have children. Okay. When you have that child, it pulls a lot of energy from you. It creates a whole new child, a new human. Okay.
Mm.
And on top of it, it takes a lot out of you. And on top of it, too, a lot of the fathers, despite what they have said in our society, where they say that fathers are not interested or they're deadbeats. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. You guys are proof of it right now. So
Mm.
we want to make sure that you guys are doing what you need to do the proper way, because sometimes when you go to this court system, you're not able to do what you need to do to address the issue because you don't know. So Friends of Father has come up with an opportunity to share this information with you guys so that you can address your life issues when it comes to navigating through the child support system. So I'm saying right now, with Friends of Fathers, that's what we're here to do and to address these particular issues. We have these free informational sessions, like I said, and it's talking about child support, but not just child support. It's also talking about friend of the court and the child support system. Are you able to see my screen where it has the orange reflection on here now, right now?
Yep.
Okay, great. So what we're talking about is let's talk about child support and how to navigate through the child support system. And just like Mr. Peters said, and Mr. Allen has mentioned, hey, it's some difficult times, but it's like you're taking all of my money. And how can I survive? You know? So with this here, me being the owner of the company, founder and president, principal life coach, I have assistants as well that helps me out as well. So we do a lot of our services through the webinar because a lot of people can't get to us. Like Mr. the Bering County, hey, we can go through that process just like we've done for many other counties. I've helped clients in Hawaii, in Canada, Chicago, down south area, we're also in California and Florida. So we help everywhere because fathers can do this on their own, especially if you don't have the money to hire an attorney. So I want to make sure that you guys are in the right place, and you already have confirmed that. You have child support, back child support. Some of you might have a bench warrant, or if you do, let's resolve it. And also, you might have questions about custody and parenting time. And we provide any services that FOC, which is the friend of the court, issues that you might have. So I want to make sure you know that. So Friends of Fathers, who are they and what do they do? Well, we are a virtual coaching and educational company that assists fathers and families with navigating through the child support system and the friend of the court. We help you, we support you, we give some advice and guidance and assistance and information. You guys see that information there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Are those some of the issues that you might have questions about tonight? Like some help,
Uh,
some support, some guidance, some
yep.
assistance?
Support. All of them, basically.
That's right. That's why I put them out there all different kind of ways because right
Yeah.
now you all out there in reference to this particular issue, you're all out there, and sometimes it's kind of confusing. But
Right.
we want to make sure that you know what you need to do to address your issues. Okay, so that's why I'm here today. I want to make sure that we are addressing your particular issues. Now, you guys can still see the screen. Is that right?
Yep. I
Okay.
can still see it.
Okay.
Yes,
Wonderful.
sir.
Okay. Good. I want to make sure that you guys are seeing what I need you to see, so we can really make sure that you are being helped in these particular areas. So, with this here, our company motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers, which we said empowering fathers, meaning that it educated you. Okay. And then the mission of what we do and how we do what we do. Okay. Oh, thank you, Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor is on. She's on and representing her son. That's beautiful. That's awesome. We're going to be able to take some messages and everything in just a little bit. Miss Taylor, we're going to finish up our little small presentation here for you. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
so I'm gonna put everybody quickly on mute. If you can put yourself on mute, that'd be great. That way
Okay.
I record, I will make sure that you're getting this information properly. All right. So let's get back to the program here. So with this being the case, we're talking about right now the type of services that we can help you with. Okay. And again, our mission is to educate you, advocate, and provide resource services to help enhance the quality of life for the fathers in their home and also in their community. Friends of Father Services includes some individual coaching services, okay? And we help prepare a plan of action because if you don't have a plan, you are going to plan to fail unconsciously. So we educate you through our educational webinars on how to address the child support system, and the family life issues. Now, once we do all of that, as a company, we got a vision. Our company is going to help you as friends of fathers to enable you to become more self-sufficient and supportive to your children and your family. Okay. Now, for example, children and family is this. At one time, um, my daughters, I was divorced, had two beautiful daughters, and then I got married to a woman who had three boys. That was a strong transition, y'all. So that means I had five kids. Okay. And so it was very challenging, but that's what they call your children and your family. Or you might have multiple children by multiple mothers. Okay. But all of them, don't let nobody tell you different. They're your family. And when you're talking about your finances, you're talking about your family. Okay. So with attorney fees being so high to some of us, so high, and right now attorney fees are $3,500, five, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, even $10,000 if it's going through a divorce. Okay, so some of our fathers have trouble trusting their information with us. Why? Because we're not attorneys. You can't sue us, but bottom line, you don't trust attorneys, you don't trust anybody. You're risking your trust and for this type of help. But we've been around 18 years. Okay. So we've been helping guys more than 4,000 fathers. So I know sometimes you're feeling intimidated by the court or intimidated by going through this process, but we're here as a men's life coach. We coach you through this so you don't have to worry about some of these things. A lot of fathers are afraid. Specific problems that they have is that, hey, I think I heard it earlier in the call. Child support, they take too much of child support, too much of my money. I can't even live and pay my bills. I think I just heard Scott say that. And then the mother won't let me see my children or my child. Okay. Fear of going to jail. Everybody have a fear of going to jail, especially when you heard that so many fathers have gone to jail because of child support. So we want to make sure that we help you to eliminate those bench warrants. And bench warrants are given by the judge when you do not appear on a hearing that they requested you to come to and you didn't appear. So they send out a bench warrant. And that bench warrant can come and get you at your house, your mama's house, at the park, or at your job, or at church. At one time, I've experienced where they arrested one of my praise and worship singers at my church, and the sheriff and everybody had the place around just for child support. So I want you guys to understand it. And check this out: levering, which is freezing your bank account. You don't want to leave a lot of money in your bank account that you don't want no one to take. So you want to eliminate that by not keeping a lot of money in your bank account. And if you put your social security number on a joint account with your parent, they can track your social security, but they can lock up that bank account until you unfreeze it or you go to court, which can take up to 90 days. I've been in that position. It wasn't comfortable. Okay. So I want to make sure I just throw that out. Some of you may not have that problem. Now, some of the pain points that our fathers have is just those things that we just mentioned. They don't want to go to jail. They take 50% or more of my paycheck. I don't have enough to take care of my own bills. Can't buy a new car, okay, because my credit's bad. Did you know 2 months worth or more of back child support, you miss it because you got laid off, you got fired, or you don't have a job, that would go on your credit report. That would increase your credit score. Okay, or I'm sorry, reduce your credit score, which will make it harder for you to get a car at an economical rate. So all of this is important. And some of us who've been on child support for a while did not get a stimulus check on the first go around. The second one, yes. Some of us still didn't get anything on the second. But you don't get a stimulus check, which is money to help the economy to continue to float in the economy world so that you can still do transactions for other businesses and yourself. So all of these things, the outcomes is my fathers, when they come through us, they don't have no more child support bench warrants, more money in their paycheck. They're able to pay their bills. They can buy a car note or get a car note or get a tax refund. It's a beautiful thing. Mr. Sykes, make sure you ask your dad about that. He's a happy man right now. Okay.
Literally.
Okay. Him and I have been around. He's been around with me since 2011. So about 10 years ago. So I'm just saying. And also to your bad credit report, I just mentioned about that. And just imagine if you want to go out of the country to Mexico or to a different country to celebrate or to go out there with your new girlfriend and your fiance, you can't do it because if you got $2,500 or more in back child support, they can basically revoke your passport. So you're not going to go on that new trip. So friends and fathers help you make a difference in your life. And we do that through our virtual coaching services. Everybody can't come to our office sometimes, okay? However, we conveniently created our company back in 2018 to go virtual, not even knowing of the pandemic. And it's worked out greatly for a lot of fathers. So I'm Coach Joe Farley. I'm here to help you guys, okay? Here's a quick testimony from some of our fathers of some of the issues that you have been going through. And we're going to go into the Q&A questions, okay? Custody, change of custody and parenting time, okay? You want to make sure you have custody, guys. You have to get custody established. That means if you don't have your name on the court order saying that the child should be yours, okay, or the child should live with you, and some of our fathers, that's what we help them to do, or they end up having the child for 5 and 10, maybe years, but the mother had them on child support and then they charged them child support for all that time. You don't want to be in that position. Change it now. Friends and fathers can help you today on that. Okay. Now, in reference to that, this here particular client of mine, I helped him get custody of his little girl. He never had a case. I kind of need to make sure we got everybody on mute. There we go. So he was basically, the mother called him up for his weekend visit and said, hey, you want to come get your baby girl this weekend because I'm actually leaving and moving to Tibet. That's out of the country. So you won't be able to see her because I got a promotion. He hurried up and got to me. We were able to do an emergency custody motion, or actually emergency custody, to establish custody. And he was able to get his custody, 50-50 joint legal custody, because he practiced it. Okay. I will tell you something here, guys. When you have parenting time and you see your kids, take pictures, take notes in your phone so that they know whenever it gets a time where you have to prove that you are an involved dad, you can show them. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. So we help you with that. Back child support. Back child support. This gentleman had owed some back child support amount. We helped him to eliminate that. He had about 50-some thousand dollars in back child support because he didn't have employment. He qualified to get a $25 a month payment plan. That $2,500 a month was allowed for 2 years. After he paid up that $25 a month times 24 months, which equates to $600, he was able to pay it off in 2 months. And I tell my guys all the time, if you get approved for a payment plan, this is for an adult case, if you get approved for a payment plan, you want to pay it off, if you can, as soon as possible. Why? Because it eliminates them having to take your back taxes or take up to 50% of your income, all of these other avenues that we talked about. You can get your passport, all of these things. So we want you to know that these are things that you're capable of doing. Now, everyone on the call today may not qualify for that, but that's something that you can do. And by the way, if you are paying child support, they can charge, say for instance, your child support is $400. They can charge you up to $400 to double the amount. And that's what's happening with some of you. And you don't want that to continue to occur. So we help you to address that issue. Because now you can get your regular child support and perhaps maybe $100 or $50 additional to your $300 that you're supposed to pay for every month on your minor child. Okay, not double the amount. This here's a gentleman had back child support for more than 3 cases, over 200 some thousand dollars. We helped him to eliminate all of those cases and reduce them and eliminate them, because sometimes the money is owed to the state and not the mom. So with this information, I hope you had enough information, because we coach you through it. I'm going to show you how to do that and sit down with you, do a webinar that's assigned for that particular day. If it's for a change of custody or child support reduction or back child support, we have them scheduled for those days. And there's a fee to our service. But first, you have to register and pay for the services. Okay. And those services, what we call is a plan of action. We also have it in our workshop center in our office. And if we schedule it, you'll be in the office or you can be online. So you can do this virtually. And what you'll receive is a packet and the right type of motion and the right information that you need to put on the motion. We'll show you how to get the right documentation to go along with that. Okay. Now, some of us on our webinars, our plan of action, which is basically on the second and fourth Mondays. So it's opposite of the first and the third at 6 o'clock. And it's via a webinar. Or if we need to, we can have you come into the office. Okay. So it's all scheduled that way. And so with some people need to establish custody like this gentleman did. I wanted to make sure I put that back in there. Some fathers need to establish custody because you don't have a court order in place. So you need to make sure that you put a court order in place so the judge can make sure that, hey, he's supposed to have this as his parenting time. He's supposed to have this amount paid for child support. And guess what, guys? I want to really tell you something. This just came to my mind. If you're not paying your child support, and everybody can come off mute on this, even mom, she can come off child support on this. If you're not paying child support, are you still able to see your children? That's a question. Anybody. If you're not paying child support, can they stop you from seeing your children? Anybody?
I have no idea.
Okay. Anybody else? Terrence? Anyone? Okay. I'm going to give you an answer. First of all, your child is not a slave, nor is it a prostitute. You don't pay to see your child. You get a court order because you're supposed to be a parent just like the mom. So many times mom says, I'm not letting you see the kid until you give me my money. You need to pay my money. No, the court order says I'm supposed to have my parenting time. Besides the point that I can't afford it or I don't have money then, I'm still supposed to have my kid. That's separate, guys. It's not the same thing. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, that's very important. I want you to know that because a lot of fathers don't know that, and it puts you in harm's way. And then on top of it, now you're not seeing your kid. And then when you go to court, finally get into court to address your issue, now they say you haven't seen your kid. What's wrong with you? Well, what's wrong is this, is that she's stopping me. Okay, so you see my screen right now, correct? With the custody and change of custody and parenting time, everyone? You seen that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I see it.
Perfect. Because what I wanted to do is make sure that, and I got to get my big head out the way. So get my head out the way. So the key thing is that we want to make sure that you can actually know that you can see your child when it's time for you to see your kid and your parenting time as well. That's most important, I'm sure, for all of you. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, good. And I'm glad mom said something because she's an involved grandparent as well. She wants to continue to see her babies. No matter how old they are, they still gonna be her baby. We laughed about that earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you guys to know our service is not a free service, but I want to have you guys chime in. Tell me, what is your concern? What is it that you're looking for so that we can say, okay, great, we can do that. Or no, we can't. So tell me, what is it that you guys are looking to do? What's the main concern that you want change right now? Anybody?
Well, oh, go ahead.
And to get my bad. Yeah, I just want custody to 50-50
Okay,
and
I think you're muffled a little bit. I'm sorry.
I want 50-50 custody and to get the payment started because I'm not actually getting charged yet. But I want
Okay,
to pay.
okay. So you want to pay for your
Yeah.
child support, and
Yeah.
right now is she interfering, and the child or is just child is just new.
It's like it's a lot that would go on. Like she be, I don't want to be directing her, but she like be bipolar, and I be blocked half of the time. And it's like she holding it against me, so I can't see her and stuff. I just now start back talking to her, and it's been like a month.
Okay. I wanted to tell you something too, guys. Always try to keep the relationship and keep it peaceful because you don't want to have it turn into what they call a domestic case. And because that's when the mothers really get the court on their side. We don't want to do that. So sometimes the mothers will just continue to interfere. I mean, it's just unfortunate. That's what happened.
Mm.
She just basically want to make you look bad. And then all of a sudden, now you can't even do anything. Okay. So we don't want that to happen to you guys. That's why sometimes you got to move, keep moving. And in a relationship, sometimes the relationship is going okay. And then all of a sudden it changes. Well, when it's going good, don't think that it's going to stay good forever. Even in real life marriages, I mean, it doesn't just stay the same. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is this: move and get things put in order, get in court order. Okay. I can't stress it enough. And the way you get a court order is basically filing a complaint or a motion to address these particular issues. Okay. So I want you to make sure that you understand that. So you want to change custody. Here, look, look at this. These are the values. You don't see the price of my services that I charge. Okay. These are my regular fees charges if you didn't come to our services through this free informational session. And this is about a plan of action and a motion completion webinar. Remember, I said the plan of action is when you come in on the second or the fourth Tuesday, a Monday, and we will actually know what county, what case, what your court order is, all of those particular important things to determine how to modify your child support. I want you to get used to saying that, modify my child support. So if you modify the child support according to your current ability to pay and the other parent, that's gold. That's what we got to go for. Okay. Now, I mentioned to you probably earlier that I am a degree paralegal. I have a professional relationship with attorneys. They charge anywhere from 35 to 5,000, even more than that, at $400, $300 an hour. Okay. You're not paying that with Friends of Fathers because we're not licensed attorneys. We don't go and represent you. You can represent yourself better than an attorney if you coach properly. My belief, because I did it myself. Okay. And I've trained thousands of fathers to do it. So I don't want you getting nervous about that. Well, I need an attorney. Well, hell, do you got the money to pay an attorney? That's not a problem. We can get you an attorney. No big deal. But you need to address the issue now. Okay. So if it's child support modification, this is an example of what you're getting. You can get a plan of action, which is going to be your 1, 2, 3 step on what you need to do for your motion, what you're going to put onto your motion by itself. Okay. That is a value of $497. You're not going to pay that. Also, to establish complaint for custody. And I have in here, if you see this, it says complaint to establish custody for CS, which is child support, and PT, which is parenting time, and Scott, in reference to legal rights. Okay. And it's talking about who's going to have custody of the child, who's going to have a legal say. A legal say is this: both parents should have a legal say when it comes to spiritual and religious development, education. Okay. The mom can't just put the child in the private school because now she's going to get child support. Okay. And also, we want to make sure that you basically make sure that you are able to deal with the development for the health part. So you got to know that your child can be covered for health insurance. And if you don't have health insurance, you can go to the state, even if you have a job, they can help you. That's that Obamacare. I don't know if you've been doing that as well. And also we have a group session, which is a Q&A, which is happening on the Wednesday after the plan of action, so that you can have is a week after you do your first plan of action. So therefore, you can ask questions. It's sort of like this particular meeting tonight. Okay. So you're going to have supporting documents to help you file your motion, because you're going to have the right information to submit with your motion. The motion is this: it's a motion to tell the court that you want to do something. You're moving the court. It becomes a legal document when you file it with the court clerk. Okay. And that clerk puts it through the system. And now the whole state of Michigan knows that John Doe has filed a petition or a complaint or a motion to change something. You got to know that's what you're doing. So therefore, you will get a date if you're doing it right. And that's why you're going through Friends of Fathers, so we can show you how to do it right. Also, there's another value: knowledge on how to get your court order. When we do the plan of action, we're going to show you how to get the current court order, because in order to file a motion, it has to be with a current order, because it may have changed since 2020, okay, or whatever. You need to make sure that you have the court order. We help you to get that information, okay? The role play. This is really golden, and we include it in our services. The reason why I include it in the service is because guys didn't want to pay the extra $100. It really was $125, but we put it on to $97. The role play is this. This is where you go to court and you basically, in our role play, you're basically in our workshop, and we act as the judge. Really, we try to have you act as the judge first. Now that we went through the plan of action, our team knows what you're trying to ask. So, for example, Mr. Joe Farley, please come. I hear you did a hearing today for a change of motion, change of custody, and tell me why you're here. Well, Your Honor, blah, blah, blue, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then the judge will say, based on your information, yes. Okay, great. Yes, you're right. You're in a position based on all the circumstances of overnights. Overnights are key, guys. Overnights. Try to get these overnights with your children. And that's going to help modify your child support. And then we're going to flip the script and we're going to act as the judge. You're going to act as you, and you can do you. We were able to do you because we assess you with the plan of action. And then we're going to push you and put you in the corner, so to speak, so that you don't get jittery when you do go to court on your court date. That's going to be one of the keys of services that we provide. We don't provide it separately. It's only for our clients. Okay. So me being before the judge all week long, I see what they're asking you, but I need to find out what you think it's going to be. So write these things down. Okay. It's a value of $1,700. I think we got too many zeros on that. I'm trying to get $1 million. No, it's $1,710. Okay. So we're going to get that fixed. So we want to make sure that you understand all that you're getting and the value of it. Now, that's a total of $1,710. Now, this is the child support fee of service. All of you are going to get an additional discount at the end of the webinar. Okay. All of you are going to get that. So therefore, you can actually make sure that you are going to receive services from Friends of Fathers. Okay. These are all the services that you get for the modified child support. We do the same thing for custody. We do the same thing for back child support as well. So with this, it's $794, not the 16 or the 17. It's $794. What you're going to get is a complete motion along with a plan of action, which is assessing your whole case. However, all you guys that's on here that wants a reduction for child support because they're charging you too much, we're also going to give you tonight, if you register with us, our service is going to give you $200 off. Okay. I want to make this accessible for you. Okay, so your total amount, you can see the math there, is 594. Okay, well, you say, well, I like that. I appreciate you giving us the savings, 594. I can do that on Friday. Well, you have until Friday midnight to pay for this. Okay, and if you decide that you want to do a payment plan, well, you have to put down $347, and we give you two installment plans payments of $374, $347. That's due in 2 weeks. Okay, so you have basically the down payment and then the second payment in 2 weeks. So it stretches it out so that you can actually get started. So that's our option for payment plan. There's another option, which I think I'm gonna change that this next month. It's basically 347 down, and then in 2 weeks, $147. And then in the third payment in 4 weeks is $174. And you get all of that services that I mentioned up here. All of that you will receive if you do a payment plan. Okay. Now, we do back child support. This is basically if you owe the state only and your income positions you to have a reduction of child support. We will do that as well and help you reduce that state. Remember, I showed that guy was $25 a month for 24 months. Sometimes it's 48 months for $50, but it has an end game. And this is when you owe the state only, okay? Because there's other ones, and with that fee, it's $1,300, $1,394. But it's a value of $1,813. But today, with that, because you're part of this webinar and you do it before Friday, you get receive $200 off. So it'll be $1,194. Some of you may not qualify for that. This is for state arrears only. There is a payment plan option that you can do. Oh, let's see, I'm moving a little too quick here. Let's see. It's a payment plan option of $647 down and a second payment of $647 in 2 weeks. You can do that. And then, of course, it breaks it down for the third payment. Some people like to do that, but anytime you can always pay your total amount up. Now, there's a state amount for when the back child support is owed to the state, that's because the mother was on state assistance. So the money is not owed to her, it's owed to the state. So the state will give you a payment plan. But sometimes, back in the day, I remember my mom and aunties, when they were on food stamps, and if they didn't go in for their redetermination time, they will get kicked off and they won't have money for that month. Okay. Put them in a very, very, very bad situation, especially because they didn't have a job. But that means that some of that money is owed to the mom when she was kicked off, or it owes to the state. So this here is where we have to figure out some other ways of reducing and eliminate the back child support, because they charge you an additional 4% interest rate on the balance. So if you had back child support worth $10,000 because you didn't file a motion to modify, or you got a different job that's lower and you didn't pay the total 500, but you're paying 200, they will add that $300 in the arrears. That's how the arrears occurs. And what they will also do is make that money, whereas it keep on stacking up, and every 6 months, January 1st, they will charge you additional 4%. That's $400 on 10,000. And then in July, yes, July 1st, they charge another 4%. And now that's $800 for that year that they keep adding on. So we want to help you to eliminate that. Most of you younger guys don't have that. They don't do it automatically anymore. But older guys like myself, that's 45 and 50 years old or above that, we have those old cases and they can do that automatically when we have been proven that we're not paying our child support. Okay. So with that particular fee, it's $994. But again, you guys, that's a value of $1,437, $1,413, $1,413. Okay. Anybody want to pay that? That's great. But you don't have to, because today you get off of our discounted rate, $994. You get $200 off, and now it's only $794. Plus, you pay for your filing fees, which is normally $20 or $60 or $100. Okay. There's a payment plan for it as well. And again, that's what the state arrears and owed to the mother. Okay. And then we have the additional if you need to stretch it out as well, because fathers need to live and take care of their children too. So the parenting time, sometimes fathers don't have a parenting time order or they don't know how to enforce it. And you can get your parenting time enforced or need to change it because the child is with you more than it is with the mother. Okay. I had that conversation with someone today. The child is with the dad more than it is with the mother. So how is it that she gets all the money? Well, that's because the father needs to change and modify the parenting time. And that value is $1,613. However, it's $894, a regular rate, which is $200 off, and you're paying only $694. Okay, so that's $694. We have two payment plans for you as well. So those it'll be $397 down and $397 due in 2 weeks. Or you can do the option 3, which is $397 down and $199 in 2 weeks after that. And then on this third payment in 2 weeks, which is the fourth week, you then stretched it out by nearly a whole month to help you pay and go forward in addressing your issues. I'm going to share this with you because some of you have mentioned that the mother probably don't let you see your child. Well, there's a motion called a parenting time enforcement motion. You can do that to enforce what is currently as a court order. That can help you so that you can start seeing your child. And the court right now, guys, I want to tell you something. We just found out the court is behind in Wayne County. Okay, so you got to get your motions in as soon as possible because they're behind 60 to 90 days. We've been fortunate to get things done within 3 weeks. Can't promise it all with everyone, but once you file your motion, that's when their 90-day clock ticking. But it can be sooner, like we have experience in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so I know that some of you guys need to do something now. Don't wait till the summer is over when you can really enforce right now your parenting time. There's a fee for that services there. It's only $594. Okay. However, it's a value of $1,013. And today you are able to get that $200 off. And that's parenting time enforcement only. That's $394. Okay. So with all of these particular projects or services that you need, we have those payment plans. This one here is $247 down, and in 2 weeks is due to $247 on the second 2 weeks from this date. And of course, my team has put this particular package together where it's a payment plan of $247 down. Second week is $124 in 2 weeks. Or as well, the third week, the third payment, which is due in the second or the fourth week, which is $124. Okay. And that's just the parenting time enforcement, not changing anything, but to enforce it. Because if she continues to violate it on the second go around, she can get fined, guys, up to $100 or up to 45 days in jail. Some guys say, man, I ain't trying to put her in jail. That's not your choice. Just like it's not your choice when they charge you what they charge you once the order is done completed. It's the court process. People just need to know that you're serious as a father. I'm doing what you can do to me, and you thought that it only can happen to me. No, it happens to you too. Now I know because I'm with Friends of Fathers, the Men's Life Coach, helping me to educate myself on coaching me on how this process works. That's how this works. Okay. So we have the change of custody, which I talked to you about already. And that is $894, $200 off. So it's $694. That's when you want to start to change the custody because the child is with you more than it is with the mother. So therefore, now you have the child and now you can charge her child support. By the way, you always want to ask that I would like to have my child up to the same amount of time. And that is 365 days. So that's 182.5 days that you want to have your child. Split that time. 1 week on, 1 week off, or Thursday to Monday. However, I mixed it up so many different ways that's convenient for the family, most importantly for the father. Okay. And we got a payment plan on that, $397 down. And then the second was due $397 down on the second 2 weeks away from that. Okay. And they have a payment plan for that, $397 down, second payment of $199 in 2 weeks. And then in the third week or the fourth week is the balance due. Now, you got to file these motions. We have a courier that will do a filing for you, and it's $70. Okay. However, you can do this yourself. But if you need our help, it's $70 to do that. But because you're part of this particular program, you get 10% off or $10 off. So it's only $60 for us to help you to address that issue. Okay. So this is my presentation with the information. So it's kind of ready for you guys to make a decision. I'm going to open up the floor here and make sure we unmute everyone or ask you to unmute. So therefore, if you have questions, we can go ahead and get some of these questions answered. All right, Mr. Skites. Okay, good. What's your question?
So if I don't have the money on my card today,
Sure.
like I could pay it Wednesday though.
Right. So what you do is right now you can go to our telephone. You can text us. You might even have an email. You can go to our telephone and text us today saying we'd like to move forward. And this is important, guys, that you let them know that you spoke with Joe Farley. Okay. Therefore, they'll know to give you the $200 discount. Simply just put that in your text. You can do that tonight. I wanted the $250, $220, or whatever it is, $200 off from the webinar. And I spoke to Joe Farley. Okay. And let's see here. On the screen, on the chat, you can actually let's see who was just talking, Mrs. Sands. Okay. I'm going to send something directly to you. And let's see here. Now, what I put on there is this, text me your phone number. This way it doesn't come to everyone, okay? And if you do that, then you would actually be able to move forward and you just text us and let us know. And I'm doing that for everyone that's on the call here so that you can just text me directly, and these are direct numbers so we can move forward on the services that you may need. And Mrs. Skice, what is the service that you need? A child support reduction? Reduce? Is that right?
I don't even know how much it is. I just want to get it started and
Oh, you want to get it started. Okay, good. Good.
established.
Okay, established. So it's establishing the case.
You don't build it. You feel me?
Okay, so it's establishing the case.
Yes.
Okay. And let's see here. Mr. Peterson, based
Yeah.
on the information that we discussed, because we discuss everything here, okay, what is the services that you believe that you need?
I'm looking to see if I can get a reduction in the amount, get that adjusted. I also need, to make sure that what's right, that the numbers are right or they're not, or all of that. It all has to do with the numbers and financials. For me, I have a decent relationship with my son's mom, and we got, so I don't have any custody issues, but we established, I don't know, I'm looking for a change in those numbers.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really am.
Right. And we want to help you to do that as well. One of the things, a change in the numbers is that what changed for you financially from the time that you receive the child support. And that's how we're going to create the change. And there's rules that they have to abide by. So we want to make sure the rules are being uh, correctly abide by within that court order. That's why the court order is so important. And then your income is changed. Guys, financially, when your income changes, whether you got a lower paying job or you have a new child or blah, 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 there's so many different reasons to modify. And that's how we're going to find out about how to modify your child support. So if you're interested in that, just text us, let us know. Yes, I'd like to move forward. Let us know if it's tomorrow or if it's going to be, you got until midnight for this $200 special as well. And your payment plans are available for you as well. So I see that we're talking about a modification for child support to make sure the numbers are right, make sure whatever my parental rights are as a father. And again, it's going to be based off your court order. I'm going to need to get it. We're going to show you how to get it so we can go through it as part of the plan of action. And we will evaluate based on the rules, and we put the calculation together based on a calculation system that the friend of the court has for the state of Michigan. So we go through that, then we look at those numbers, and that's the numbers and proof that you can say, hey, this is what my child support is. I'd like to get it modified according to your particular rules. Okay. So hopefully that helps you guys to determine. Is there another question out there? Is there another question?
Hi.
Okay, Miss Taylor, go right ahead.
Okay, guys. First of all, I want to say I feel so sorry for you guys.
Mhm.
It's sad that you have to go through all of this, for to get right by your child. Even paying child support, then you still got to pay for someone to help you do that. It seems like it should be free, but I understand everything costs. I'm trying to help my son do several things. First of all, we definitely want to establish a DNA to make sure that these children are his. Then, secondly, the money part is really not an issue to him. He don't mind paying the child support or whatever. It's just that he don't get a chance to see his children because of the baby mama is bitter. If you're going to pay child support, he should be able to see his child. He does for some of the kids. I do for all of his kids, but I'm the only one can see the child, and that's not fair. That's not my child. That's my grandchild. Now they done took over $5,000 of his income tax. And to me, that's a big chunk out of a one person's thing for just a couple baby mamas when you have several baby mamas. So what he's trying to do is he wants to go before a judge, I guess, and we need to do like a motion for several things. A motion to establish if that is his biological child. Second is to demand visitation rights. And then third, to make sure the money amount is all right equally to all the children.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's so important. Well said. Well said. Because bottom line is that he doesn't just have one child by one mother. All of his kids. All of his kids. And I encourage the fathers. Some of them might have multiple children, and I just remind them, hey, I'm a Bible minister, a man of God myself, and I know Jacob in the Bible. How many
Yeah,
sons did he have? He
yeah,
had
yeah, plenty.
You know what I'm saying? He had 12. It's 12 tribes, and he had a couple of daughters too. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's by multiple women. Okay. So I encourage you guys, don't ever feel embarrassed about your child. You go
Mm-mm.
in there and you stand up for your kids and you let them know, hey, I want to provide services to my kids, but
But I
I
can't.
cannot let y'all do what you're doing. I can't take care of them.
Exactly. His 10-year-old daughter asked the question, "Is my daddy dead?" She don't
Mm,
even she asked the other baby mama, "Is my daddy dead?" She's like, "No, your daddy not dead." So that's what this girl got her thinking. Your daddy, I ain't no telling what this girl telling this baby. It's not fair. You taking his money, and she was ordered by the court. I got the
mm,
papers. She was ordered by friend of the court to let my son see that child, and she has not done that. Now, a friend of the court, they stand up for them women, but where's the stand up for the men that she should be held responsible and held contempt for not doing what she's supposed to do by the judge?
Look, you said it. You just said it. That's exactly what would happen. She'll be held in contempt of court. But it's a process, and that's what
I
we're
know it's all
doing.
a process and
Yes,
it's a
ma'am.
costly process, but
Yeah.
like I told my son, it's a price that you got to pay because they're taking your money anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the money thing really ain't the issue because you can make more money as long as you keep working. But it's not fair to the fathers to get their child the money taken out of their checks, getting their income tax snatched. And it's not that they don't want to see the child; it's the bitter baby mama won't let them see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. And that's a tragic to who? The kids.
The kid and then the fathers. I feel sorry for these fathers. You got some fathers out here that don't need no pity, but you got some fathers out here that's some good fathers, but they got bitter baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to say it, friend of the court is not for these fathers. They're
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
not for these fathers. Some of these mothers need to be held accountable. Show me where you spending the money at.
That's right. That's right. I've had cases where the mom is spending the money on that card because you get them on a card now. It's a debit
Hmm.
card, and
Getting
they
hair,
will go.
nails,
They're getting hair, nails, beauty salon, and
and the
food and
kids walking
bars.
around looking like Kentai Kute from Roots.
Right.
Or
Ah,
going to get niggas taken care of, kids eating bologna sandwiches and the niggas eating steaks. I seen it. I've
right.
been wanting to turn a lot of them in, but that's not my place. Vengeance is not mine. It belongs to the Lord. But my son, he's going to get his help because he got a mother, a praying mother. I'm an evangelist in the Lord, and I know a little bit about the word myself, and I know God ain't gave us no battle that we can't fight. We might
That's
not win them all.
hmm hmm Well, I
If you
am.
brought that battle to me, I'm going to fight it.
hmm And I know a lot of fathers would too if they knew that people like our company has been around and we can help them to address the issue. So I'm looking forward to hopefully helping your son very, very, very soon, so we can help move forward in these cases because sometimes it takes one by one. You can't get them all together,
Exactly.
but
And
we
and, and,
we're
and,
here.
and the main two ones I want is the oldest two. I
17,
hear you
right?
talk earlier, the
hmm
17-year-old and the 10-year-old. And it really ain't too much about the 17-year-old because another year he'll be grown. He can do what he want to do.
hmm
But that 10-year-old, that's the one that I told you she go over the 17-year-old house.
hmm Uh-oh, she dropped off. Sorry about that. So you're absolutely right, and I appreciate the sharing of the information, okay? Because people need to get the help to address the issues that they have, and that's so important. So I want you guys to be encouraged and to know that Friends of Fathers is here to help you to address these life issues. These are, Scott, these are life issues, man. You're not the only one, praise God. But I got fathers all over that need to address this issue. And sometimes financially and emotionally, they are not ready to address it. Financially and emotional. They don't know what to do to address it. So we're here for you guys. And I want you guys to text us, let us know that you want to move forward, and we'll be happy to serve you. I want to say thank you for joining Friends of Fathers webinar tonight. So therefore, we can help you move forward tomorrow. Again, this is Joe Farley signing off. I want to thank you all. And again, text us at 313-983-0044. That's 313-980 I'm sorry, 313-983-0044. That's 313-983-0044. Or you can go to our website at Friends of Fathers in the contact form and say, hey, I was on the webinar on Monday night. I got a $200 discount and I'm ready to pay before the midnight hour on Friday. Okay? We're looking forward to serving you guys. All right. God bless you. Thank you. Feel free to give us a call anytime. God bless.